The average lifespan in the Australian industry is like 5 months. There is a 80% dropout rate. So 80% of people who study to become PTs leave the industry forever.
Crazy.
That is nuts.
And we're back to the Business of Fitness podcast. Mitch, we've just gone through a rebrand in our brand new studio. And today I'm here with a friend, a client, Benny Russell. How are you, mate?
Good, mate.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
He's here.
So Benny's a very, very special guest for us. Benny was actually a 2-time National Manager of the Year for Vision Personal Training and just opened up his brand new studio in East Lakes. I commend your story from trainer to manager to owner. You've truly held every position in the fitness industry.
Even door knocker.
Yes. Yeah, that was interesting. Well worth it, but interesting.
So, mate, yeah.
What I like about, I guess, Vision, it's been around for so long. Like an old friend from
26 years.
Yeah, an old friend of ours from high school.
Shout him out, mate. Ben Hack.
Ben Hack. He used to be a trainer, and that was probably my first exposure to it, like a long, long time ago. But yeah, 26 years. Like that's since before that's the last millennium.
Yeah,
that's a long time.
1999.
I did my Cert 3 at Gosford TAFE with Ben Hack, and I remember his first job from that Certificate 3 was a Vision studio in the Northern Beaches. Loved it.
Yeah. So I think, and we'll get into it today, like it really has stood the test of time with so many other fads, so many styles of training, so many styles of fitness businesses, and yet still opening studios, which is pretty cool.
Mate, I'd love to hear your story because not everyone wakes up and said, I want to own a gym.
Yeah.
So the quick 5-minute recap from finishing school to all those odd jobs in between that led you to wanting to become a coach.
Mate, I probably have one of the longest resumes anyone's seen. Every time I tell someone, I used to do this job, I used to do that, and they keep going, what have you not done? I've done cook, I've done, management, retail, childcare, schooling, just endless
Would
stuff.
you trust your kids with Benny?
I mean, after this podcast, I can make a
we'll
decision.
see how we go. I've still got my working with children check.
There you go.
We're
Beautiful.
okay. But yeah, finished school, went on a gap year to the UK, went to a little town in Otford near Sevenoaks, did that for a year, travelled around, came back, lived in Canberra for a little while, and I'd always wanted to do acting, so I got quite heavily into the local acting scene and theatre scene there. A lot of retail jobs. Did half a uni degree at one point as well.
This isn't helpful for Fit Pros at all.
No.
How do you become an actor?
Most people can just start doing it, to be honest, but it is well worth going to a school. So I ended up going to Whopper over in Perth in 2016, which was awesome because they basically said, you're way too theatrical. So bringing more into the screen sort of style, which really helps now, especially not only with talking, but being able to look at yourself, on the screen and be used to it, look at the framing, doing all that. And if you look at my social media stuff now, everyone always says, who's doing your social media? Who's doing your scripts? I'm like, it's just me.
I think I could be wrong. Please correct me if I'm talking shit. Like the number one fear is like public speaking.
I've heard that.
And I guess
More so than dying.
And I guess when you own your business and you are making content, you are on camera, it's just second nature. You just don't even think about it. I've never thought about, this is going to be nerve-wracking or scary.
People
Just
are terrified.
terrified. So acting, did you land any movies, TV shows, advertisements?
Home and Away.
Home and Away.
Neighbours.
I had a vendetta against the two. Now I'd probably take a role, but I was like, I'm not going to be one of those actors that just went on Neighbours and then got big. I'm going to do it my own way.
Did Margot Robbie be on there?
Yeah.
Hemsworth,
Hemsworth,
a lot of
all
them.
Yeah,
A lot of them did.
Chris Hemsworth was it's embarrassing. I watched Home and Away when I was like 10. He was the personal trainer at the diner.
Yeah.
I think.
Was he?
Yeah, he was the personal trainer.
Was he Jack then as well?
Very skinny.
He was still all right though. He was still pretty toned.
Pretty lean.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
like now.
So what was your vendetta?
I wanted to do it myself. I didn't want to be one of the actors who went on Neighbours and then became famous. I was like, I'm going to do it myself. But yeah, across the time, did lots of theatre, did some ads. To be honest, the biggest thing I've had to date was actually last year. And it's coming out to cinemas sometime soon. It's just had its premiere in Melbourne. It's called Numbered Lives. It's got Jayme Piven in it.
Yeah, cool.
So that's pretty exciting. So I think, my mum always said, I think in your 30s, that'll be your big years, Benny. Like,
Major role, minor role, supporting role. Like, what did you do?
We'll call it a supporting role. It's got quite a bit in it for sure. At least 60% of the movie. I won't give too much away because it is a thriller. So
Okay.
you'll have to.
Is
you'll
it
have to
a good
watch it.
Is it a whodunit? I love a whodunit.
No, not a whodunit. It's one of those like what's going on kind of things.
Mm.
Really eerie and creepy.
My favorite TV show of all time was Lost.
Oh my god,
So much
Lost,
confusion.
Yeah.
This won't be eight seasons.
No,
Eight
no,
years
this is
strung out
definitely
over
a one
8
and
years.
done. That's for sure.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
So acting, big break last year, hopefully huge at the box office.
Yes.
In the meantime, your part-time job's actually being a personal trainer, manager, and coach. How did you get into the PT world? And did you have a passion for fitness first? Or like how did you transition from cook to actor to childcare to PT?
Well, just going back for a second, I'd actually say my roles have completely changed. I used to be an actor who did a bit of PT.
Okay.
Now I'm a fitness business owner who does a little bit of acting. They work quite similar together. But when I was at acting school, actually even going back further, like my dad had a gym in his backyard. He was always, they used to call him the hairy gorilla. He's a big dude. So I'd always have the gym to sort of train back there. Never took it really seriously, but tried to do it. But certainly my dad was very inspiring in that sense. But I'd never considered any sort of sporty career.
Yeah, just loved weights.
Just love weights. Yeah, for sure. A bit of boxing, did some Muay Thai, stuff like that. Did state rowing as well. But it was when I was at acting school, I was training with a couple of people who have now gone on to do some pretty big things, which is awesome. And they said, mate, you're really good at this. Like, have you ever considered doing some coaching? I went, no, I hadn't. And so when I went back to Canberra, I think I was there for 2 years. And in the second year, I decided to go get my PT certificates at TAFE. And to say that PT saved my life would be an understatement.
Expand.
I had a really rough year. I had a really bad breakup. Pretty much put me to like the cliff in a
Just
literal sense.
Absolutely down in the dumps.
I was standing over a cliff on Mount Ainslie, ready to go. 100% ready to go. I just finished my Cert 4 and I just remember this moment of going, you can do this anytime. You've got the power, you got the control. You can come back to this moment anytime you want. Why don't you just do one more day and see how it goes? Gave one more day. That day I phoned up a friend, found a housemate in Sydney, moved to Sydney, interviewed at a couple of different gyms, walked into Vision Personal Training Rose Bay. All of them were so friendly. And this was a big thing compared to all the other places where people were sort of, hi, how you going, whatever. They were so friendly, so engaging, so welcoming.
Did you feel like you had to leave Canberra?
100%.
Just completely new environment.
That's a big part of this as well, right? And we can definitely go into that. The environment creates the factor. Like if you're unhappy and you're not pursuing what you want, find the environment that you want.
They talk a lot about that with people who are in like addiction and in horrible points of their life, that if you get removed from the environment you're in that's led to you being addicted or, you know, in that position, then it can just make such a huge change.
Yeah. So
in
rehab,
life.
they don't wean you off the drugs. It's just a new environment.
Yeah.
And then they leave the rehab back on the drugs.
Well, that's the issue with rehab.
Yeah.
Well, supposedly, I've never been in there, but yeah, you're in this environment where it's all supportive, and then you go back to your old environment, which is toxic for different reasons, and then you could just fall back to where you were.
Yeah.
Do you share that story with clients, being at rock bottom and how fitness, coaching?
Early on I did. I think eventually I sort of started to move away from it. I'd healed. I felt a lot better, and I was just trying to understand their stories more. But certainly early on I was like, this is why I'm here. This is why I want to help people set themselves free, realize that things aren't so bad, have a bit of confidence, a bit of strength, and feel proud of themselves for something.
People have different reasons for getting into fitness, but I feel like, and everyone's unique to it, but everyone has their own powerful reason for wanting to do it in the first place, I think. Like not necessarily to the extent that you had where, you know, you felt like it really saved your life, but that's where a lot of people get into it because they have overcome something and then they want to transfer that to other people and help other people.
Well, Steve, one of our coaches that bought our gym, he was 140 kilos, lost 40 kilos, and he loves getting that person. Like that one person's 140. I know what they feel like. He loves saying, and he's true. He's right. I've truly walked a day in their shoes, and it goes a long way.
Yeah. And then I guess that's what gets people started, whether it is becoming a trainer or then transitioning into wanting to own a studio or manage a studio or whatever the next
Not
steps
many
from there
people
are.
say Sydney is the friendliest place in the world. So from Canberra to Sydney, why was Sydney friendly, or why was Canberra negative, or was the actual gyms that you walked into versus the gyms in Canberra? Like, why did you feel that like Sydney was the move and it was more positive?
I think it's just a different place. Like, I think I know people who've moved from Sydney to Canberra and love it. I think it's just you've grown up with it. There's a version of yourself that came from there that has toxic traits, toxic friends, toxic enemies, like all of that, and it tends to fester into self-confidence issues and beliefs and personalities. It was simply, and again, I could have moved to Sydney and found something that wasn't good for me, but I luckily walked into Vision Rose Bay, and before I left, I have mates in Canberra who went, mate, we were so scared for you. You were gaunt, your eyes were sunken in your head. Like, we were seriously considering calling someone.
So you feel like Benny had an identity in Canberra?
Yes.
And no matter, even if you changed yourself, you would still be seen as that person.
Yeah.
The fresh start, not a soul knows you.
Yeah.
Well, you asked us off camera before, like where we grew up, and we grew up on the Central Coast.
Do you want to share what we were like between 2008, 2012?
It's a beautiful place. Like, it really is. And to your point, like, people would move from the city to go somewhere that's a bit more quiet, a bit more easygoing. And, there's beautiful beaches and a lot of good stuff there. But when you grow up there, we were chatting about, like, you have a certain perception of what it's like and other people perceive you in a certain way. And then I think moving somewhere, and we moved to Newcastle, which is only an hour away, but we didn't know anyone. And it's effectively just like a clean slate. Yeah. And then no one's, whether they do or not, back in your hometown, but you have the ability to start something new without judgment and just start fresh. It sounds like kind of what you found up.
I've seen the photos of you boys back in the day. So, yeah.
I'm supposed to delete them.
Share some later.
Yeah, but it's true. So 2008, 2012, we were just drinking, just like most young people do, but we probably took it too far. Went to Canada, drank more, took other things outside of alcohol we shouldn't have been taking. We were just an absolute, just loved the party.
Yeah.
And I guess if you were in that environment and your friends are still there and your friends love the party, like, I have to twist my arm too hard. Just remove yourself from that environment.
Yeah. Going back, there's always an interesting thing because it's, again, a really nice place, and we're still down there a bit. We've got some friends and family and stuff that are there, but the thought of living there again is it's painful for
you
me
guys
to
might both
think
think this
that.
is weird, and my wife hates it so much. Whenever we go to the coast, because my parents still live there, I drive past my old workplace. It was a Centrelink call center, and I go out of my way. It's about 5 minutes, and I drive past it. I park out the front and just look at it for a few minutes. Yeah. And just remember just like how much I fucking hated that place.
Yeah.
And I was like, can we just go? I'm like, no, I got to remember.
Yeah.
Because it's
this pain.
It's painful. And then it just gives me this gratitude of like, I'm so glad I'm not there. And like, this is my life now. And just, oh, it's good to remember like just how far you've come.
Humans move away from pain rather than towards pleasure, right? So we almost assimilate to our new reality without realizing, hey, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So when you remind yourself of how shit it was, you're like, oh. Yeah.
It's a hedonic treadmill.
Yeah.
Buy a new car, it's good for 1 minute. But then you used to have a push bike.
Yeah.
Did you do you ever go back to Canberra?
Yeah, my family still live there. I've still got a couple of friends there. And I keep always thinking to myself, whenever things are getting hectic in Sydney and I'm like, oh, it's too fast lane. It'd be great to go back. It's quiet, it's easy, it's cheaper, it's this. Go back for 2 days. I'm like, no.
You jump on menu, like, I can't get food at 11:30.
Yeah.
Oh, this is not for me. Too cold in winter, too hot in summer, and not enough to do.
Too many government workers.
Yeah.
You walked into Vision at Rose Bay. At that point in time, was Aaron the owner?
He was transitioning. So he had been manager for quite a while, and he told me on the phone call previously, I'm going to be buying this business. The one thing I remember from that conversation was like, if you bleed for me, I'll bleed for you. I don't care what you do on the weekends as long as you work hard in my business. You can do heroin on the weekends if you want to. I was like,
well, let's set the stage on Aaron. So I've met Aaron. Mitch has met Aaron. You work for Aaron. One of the most intense people I've ever met. And I say that in a good way because he has the highest expectations, high standards probably of ever owner I've ever met. High standards from his coaches, his trainers, his marketing company. Yep. But it's good because you have to raise to that level.
Yeah.
I still remember his initial, I don't know if it was the very first message or a few messages in when he was first speaking with us, and there was a lot of lofty goals and a lot of plans, and I want to be this by this amount of time. And we hadn't really ever had anyone quite like that before, but you were a byproduct now of probably from being underneath him.
I mean, it's hard because you never set realistic goals and you're never really happy when you achieve things, but it also means that you achieve success much faster than other people.
Aaron also has the top performing studio in the Vision Network.
Yes.
And there's a reason for that. It wasn't by accident.
No
and
coincidence.
people would say, oh, it's because he's in Rose Bay. Lots of other gyms in Rose Bay too are struggling.
Yep.
So like standards.
Well, you know as well, like when you look at Metacost, it's one of the highest in the country.
Yeah.
To get a lead now is about $120 a lead.
I want to dive into this actually. So I originally worked with Benny and Aaron. It was to run their ads. I think when I came in, your cost per lead was about 150, 200.
Yeah.
I got it down to 50. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey guys, if we can get $50 here, like we're fucking cheering. And we did. And then like if someone else hears that, for example, a Pilates studio in Bathurst to get leads for $1, they would fall off their chair. The last podcast we spoke about how important location is, predominantly decides your cost per lead. Over fitness, combat, Pilates, where you are will determine your cost per lead. So if you have got a higher cost per lead, you better have a high LTV.
Yep. 100%.
And then I mean, that's obviously a great part about personal training, and we'll get into the whole vision model today. But I imagine, and I don't know for sure, but once you guys get a client, I dare say you'd keep them for quite a while.
Yeah, we got like an 8-month tipping point, we call it, where people are either going to leave, do something else, or stay for a long time. And at Rose Bay, which has been open 16 years, we had clients who've been there 10, 12, 15 years.
I'm just laughing about Aaron. Hey, Benny, welcome to Sydney, mate. You fucking bleed for me, I'll bleed for you.
Do your heroin if you want.
Yeah, he's like, don't care what you do on the weekend. I was like, oh, that sounds like an interesting guy. I mean, he'll now say I don't remember that conversation, but you know.
Yeah.
Ingrained in your memory.
From that convo to Aaron purchasing the gym, what was your initial role in that Rose Bay studio?
So I stepped in obviously as a rookie trainer. With the vision model, you have a rookie program. Nowadays, they're paid about 14 and a half hours. Back then, it was like a $50 a week retainer or whatever. And they go, look, you just want to get through these pages, do this. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna smash this. So 35 hours I was there minimum a week, plus working at a pub on the weekends and nights to try and make up my time. And you could just watch everyone on the team just like staring, going, who the fuck is this guy?
Where did that work ethic come from? Or what gave you that desire to say, nah, I'm not following this system. I'm going to work 3 times as much and have a part-time job?
I think I've always had it. Like, oh God, I think back to my first job at KFC, and I've still got a mate from high school. We worked together. We used to call ourselves the dream team because him, me, the cook, and the manager, so 4 people, could run Dixon, which was one of the top places in Australia, by ourselves, whereas a team of 10 would normally have to run that. So like I was never afraid of hard work. I used to do 2 jobs plus uni plus a theatre show. So theatre show, you know, would have a 3-month rehearsal period. I'd sleep 3-4 hours most nights. That was just what I did.
Is it money that motivates you, or is it doing your absolute best?
I think it's doing my absolute best and knowing that I think my parents obviously put a really good work ethic into me early on. And I think maybe it's just ego. Maybe it's just a need to like prove that I can do it.
Has that changed over time now that obviously you're a bit more established and been doing things a bit longer?
I'm just getting older now. I just need more time back. I think, you know, it was great. Teenagers, 20s. I'm 32 now and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm starting to see it.
I find that like I'm 35 now. I've got a son and you got a business and everything very, very different to when you're in your 20s, just from an energy standpoint, at least for me. Like I just don't have quite as much juju as I once did.
I was an absolute firecracker till about 30.
Yeah.
Because when we grew our first business to 509 in 12 months, we were partying as much as we've ever partied. We found this nightclub called the Belmore Hotel. Yeah. It was Wednesday, Friday, or Hunter River Friday, and then the Belmore on Saturday.
Wednesday. We didn't do midweek.
Wednesday. I met Ellen on a Wednesday. I met my wife on a Wednesday. We go into Honeysuckle. But anyway, like we were partying like no tomorrow. But then we still get up and run the 5 a.m. sessions and then just like carry on with the day.
Have different seasons of entrepreneurship, I think, or call it whatever you want, entrepreneurship. And when you're in your early 20s or earlier on, you're probably doing everything and anything if you've got that mindset. But it can be a little bit more challenging as you get older.
No sore joints. Just get into it.
I used to call it rallying. I'd just be like, you just rally. Just get up, get it done. You've made your choice. You're a grown-ass adult. Let's go.
In the rookie program, 35 hours a week. Aaron's the owner. Mm-hmm. How many other trainers were in there? Like, were you far exceeding them? Like, how long did it take for Vision HQ to hear about this guy from Canberra who's just going wild?
I don't think they really knew about me until management. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, there was probably 3 other trainers who were far exceeding me at that time. And then there were some other people that were doing okay for sure. But it was more just that, again, that work ethic, unpaid, just pushing it. And Aaron just, and all these people are watching. And I remember Aaron just going, right, come with me, grab me, drag me outside. When we're going for a walk, we're going to go meet people on the street. And he'd just go, this is my new trainer, Benny. He wants to train you. Come in for a free session. I was like, oh my God, what's going on? He was like,
some local outreach.
Yeah, he's like, we got to support this guy. Like, I'm going to show you how to do it. And that was like, I think it was like week 1. He was like, come on, we're going out. No question about it.
Think he took you under his wing a little bit?
For sure. I mean, my intention was like, I'm going to come to Sydney. I'm going to pursue my acting and I'm going to do a bit of PT. I'm just going to do this job for a year. And that was initially what happened. Did okay. I think my first year I was an okay PT. I don't think I was an amazing PT. And then as things started to bloom and I had all these different roles in acting and stuff appearing, suddenly lockdown. Suddenly everything went to shit. And it was like, what am I going to do? I kind of had to sit with myself and go, I think I'm going to put blinkers on. I'm just going to see what happens if I just pursue this. We had to shut down the studio. We did online, outdoor, and weirdly enough, I actually ended up having the highest retention in the network. Out of all the other people who lost 50% plus of their clientele, I kept, I think it was like 80%.
What was your secret?
I think it was. I think it was not giving people a choice. It was like, yep, cool, the studio's going to be closed for a little while. Let's just keep you going. We're going to do this, this, and this. I've bought some bands. Oh, that was ingenious. I went on eBay, bought like all the handle bands, bought a bunch of them.
They're in
like
hot demand at that time.
But these are like $2 or something, right?
And
then I ended up selling them to every single client, not even my own, everyone's clients for $50. So I was like, sweet, yeah, great. All the trainers are like, why didn't you let us know? I was like, well, you didn't think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just didn't give them a choice. And I actually had incredible results from clients during that time.
The lockdown was an interesting time for us. We still owned our gyms at that point. And we actually, I can't remember, I think it was the second lockdown because there was one in 2020 and 2021. And that's when we just started doing a bunch of marketing.
Yeah.
And we were getting like really cheap leads, really cheap to acquire new clients because no one else was doing it. So we were actually growing in that period. We had people that left, obviously, but we were actually getting new clients at that point. And we almost were arbitraging the fact that no one else was doing it. So not that we were always super positive and optimistic, but we just thought, well, we're here. Let's make the best of what we've got.
We had an ad running. It was 7 days for $7. It was a one-on-one personal training aid because I thought that's what we were doing. And then I would flip it to a 6-week, $450 challenge. And we we sold 10, 15, 20 a week for like 12 weeks straight. So we were just, compared to our ad spend to front-end crash, we probably were making
I don't think we're really tracking it too closely back. It would have been interesting, but we
didn't have to track because it was so ridiculous.
And then it wasn't long after that the gyms opened and we turned them, a good chunk of them into memberships. But to your point, like there's two ways you can view those situations. I think there would have been people, trainers and owners would have sat on their hands and waited, wait for the government to open back up and then proceed. Or we just kind of had a bit jack of it and.
The first lockdown was sort of like, it was manageable, it was a bit shit, whatever. And then I remember we opened back up, we threw the masks off, everyone was like, great, it's done. That was the shittest thing. I'm never doing outdoor sessions at 5 a.m. again. And then the second lockdown happened, we went, oh my God, don't worry guys, we've got this. And all of us are like in tears, shivering through winter. Like
this might be controversial, but in 2022, Omicron was about.
Yeah.
And this was after the Delta strain. And I remember it was really kicking off in January again, like all over the news. Everyone was worried again. Rest in peace. Shane Warne died. And I remember that just took over the news cycle. It was like the biggest death in Australia for a long period of time. And I never heard Omicron ever again. I remember it so distinctly. Like it was just like, we're going to close down, we're going to close again. And then just.
We're getting into conspiracy land here.
Yeah.
Don't go down the rabbit hole.
But seriously.
Tinfoil hats.
It just disappeared. Never heard of it again. Did you remember Omicron?
Oh, there's always something new. Now they're going on about another thing coming out. And I'm like, it's just whatever they're trying to hide,
I don't watch the news anymore.
No, I'm almost at that point with social media where I'm like, unless I'm posting or interacting, I need to stay off it.
Ellen was concerned for me because I was watching the news every day, the daily virus count versus the deaths.
Yeah,
and like it was every day. It was like, oh, it was terrible.
Doesn't that mess with your mind a little bit?
Well, I never watched the news before and after. It was just in that 8-week period when I was at home.
You're talking to me a lot about it.
Yeah.
Just shut up, will you? I don't care anymore.
Because then you got and obviously like being a passionate because I love marketing, love sales, love business, but my first passion is health and fitness. Always has been, always will be. And then you see like, obviously the bottle shops are open, the cafes are open, but you got to stand up and sit down and like, and we can't train people outdoors. And we had the police called on us. I'm still dirty about that.
A few times.
The police shut us. We had another gym owner call the police on us for training people one-on-one outside, following, and the police were like, sorry, they got to be here, don't want to be here. Like, it was just.
We have on our Rose Bay Google and our Rose Bay Vision Google one-star review. And I honestly leave it there because I'm like, this is almost hilarious. It was like, do not trust these people with your health and fitness. I saw 2 trainers standing next to each other talking. And it was like, what are you on about? Not even clients or anything. Probably a trainer going up being like, hey, just checking if you can take this client. Here's a band, whatever.
Did you reply to the review?
Well, I don't even think we did. I think we just
Should reply now.
It's just hysterical. I was like, oh.
It all seems so funny now looking back at the rules and everything. But
yeah. So PT, successful in COVID, you transition to manager. And I want the bulk of the conversation to be around this because a lot of fit pros that we talk to can never find good staff, particularly I would call like a manager or a COO to actually run the business so they can be the owner and just take a break.
And we'll stay there just for a sec. Like, I think that's where a lot of owners get caught. They will come in and they'll start like, okay, I'm going to do everything, which is not worst thing when you're starting something new because you don't have a whole lot of money and you're running all the classes, doing all the sales, marketing, the admin. And then it gets to the point after you get some members where you're like, okay, I'm ready to take a step back and have a coach do this or have a manager do this. And so often I can't find anyone. Like, I don't know, Seek sucks. And I had this other lady and you hear all the stories like, yep, sure. So I would be interested to kind of get that side of it from you, obviously, coming from that, because we've had so many people complain about, that being a bottleneck for them.
Or they promote a PT like you and they just suck at the role.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not going to toot my own horn here, but I've heard at Vision Network meetings many times, you just don't find bennies, which I don't understand, but I've heard this many times. They're like, it's hard to find that type of person and curate it correctly because, again, like I'm what we call a high I personality. I'm like all over the place. I can't sit with something for a long time. So the fact that I've been with Vision for 7+ years is nuts.
I remember talking to Aaron actually when we introduced High Level into your business. I'm like, mate, like Benny's one of the best managers I've ever fucking come across. He's going to fucking kill himself if he's texting leads in bed at night at 10 p.m. He's going to get divorced, break up, like ruin his life. Get fucking High Level to assist him. But he's fine.
He'll get on heroin again.
But I remember so distinctly, like I had to go into bat for you, like, hey, like you don't. I was saying like, you don't come across people like Benny. Like he wants this software, fucking give it to him.
I mean, honestly, this is one of the best things that's happened to Vision in the last 2 years was you helping me learn Go High Level, because obviously Vision then grew really quickly, and we'll come to that later. But everyone said, "What are you doing?" And I went, it's this software. I said, you have to integrate this software. It took 2 years, but finally it's been integrated into Vision systems.
Good stuff.
Every single person uses it.
Saves you a bit of time.
It's not even that. Like, it is such a powerful CRM. Like, you can sit there, reactivate people. Like, it's just insane. You are going to miss people. When you're doing reactivation, dropouts, inquiries, whatever calls, you're going to go, I don't want to call that person. You set it up. This thing just calls 5 to 10 of them a day automatically. You don't get a choice.
With the automations, there's a lot of automation, a lot of AI in fitness business. The best automation in a fitness business is that first text message after a lead ops in. Hi, contact name, it's Jayme from XYZ Gym. Are you free for a chat today or tomorrow? I'll try and give you a call. Yeah. At least if you call then, they know who you are.
Yes.
And that was the one that used to kill me. I was in bed at night, like Ellen's like, what are you doing? I'm like, just like Lee came in. Sally wants to learn about Fit Over 40.
Well, I think you saw like a lot of Benny's challenges at that point was challenges that you had or we had when we were, because
I was you. I was doing our role in our business.
Because we'd get leads come through at all hours and you want to contact them, but you also want to
switch off.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing it at 9:30 when you're hanging out with friends or your missus or watching TV or lying in bed. So that's why Jayme was always very passionate about it, because it is a true unlock. I think if you're able, and especially when you're paying $100 a lead,
Yeah.
you don't want them to go 12 or 18 hours before they hear from you. And sometimes that's like what it would be if you were waiting until you came
You
into
think
work
about
the
like
next
even
day.
website leads maybe 2-3 years ago was like a guaranteed sale. Nowadays I'm getting 3 website leads a week and I might not hear back from them. Like these are people who are actively reaching out, but clearly they're reaching out to 10 other people.
Yeah.
If you're not there in the first 60 seconds, they're probably gone somewhere else.
So Bennies are hard to find. I want to try and define what Benny does and why Benny is hard to find. So what are some of your personality traits? What are some of your skills that you felt that you brought to the Vision Network to run the highest performing studio in the network and win Manager of the Year back to back?
I think I already had a lot of soft skills, having worked in obviously like retail and people industries and sales and all that previously, having done acting. I had these sort of personality and soft skills. It was then finding a way to funnel them and give it a single target. As Aaron used to say, you've got too many pokers in the fire. There's too much going on. If you can put all of this energy into one single thing, you're going to be unbeatable. So having a great mentor like him, and most people would never be able to deal with it. I can remember in my first 6 months, he used to call me on a Friday after I think I've had a really good week going, mate, do you want this job? Like, you need to prove it to me. Like, what are you doing? I used to pull over the car and I'd just be head in hands going, what am I doing wrong? And then like my friends would be like, mate, this is abusive. Like, you can't be at this job. Like, what the fuck? And I was like, no, I think, because I'm sure I said to him early on, I'm like, I need military treatment. I need retraining, basically.
Yeah.
And he gave it to me. And he
you know
admits
what?
now.
There's nothing wrong with accountability.
Hmm.
There's not, like, if maybe that week you didn't hit your goals.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you didn't. Like, and obviously just like it takes a certain person to deliver that message on a Friday over and not give a fuck about your feelings.
Yeah.
It takes a certain person to receive the message, not ruin your weekend, show up Monday with a positive smile.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'd like to think that Aaron probably did that because you guys kind of had the agreement that, hey, like this is how I'd be motivated, or you've had conversations like that, and that wouldn't work for everyone.
No.
So maybe Aaron has tailored that a bit for you, or maybe that's just how he operates.
Yeah.
And if you couldn't deal with it, then you would have left. But it's
just interesting, right? Because he's just actually passed down the standard. There's
Yeah.
like there's no option.
Yeah.
It's not an option to not contact the leads.
Yeah.
It's not an option to not try and save the cancellation. It's not an option to not post on social media. Like,
Yeah.
this is what you do.
But it
Yeah.
sounds like you had the work ethic before you even started there.
I think so. But I think it was just being able to take that feedback. I don't think a lot of people would have been able to take it that way. I think a lot of people would have quit early on. But yeah, I think it probably was very much tailored to me and what he envisioned for my future, for sure. As I said, I never, ever imagined becoming a studio owner, business owner, anything like that. I thought I'd probably maybe do online PT, or maybe I'd travel around to different hotels or cruise lines or something like that. That was kind of I'll just do this as a gig.
So in your opinion, why did you win Manager of the Year 2 years in a row? What did the Vision HQ see in you?
Well, the growth was a massive one. Rose Bay had never hit #1 in the network. It was always a top studio, but it's also been there for 14 years at that point. And it felt fairly capped at what it was. Within the first year, I grew it 30%. And by the time I left it, I took it from like 22K revenue a week to, I think my last debit was 33.
Cool. So well over $1 million studio, almost
Yeah.
1.5 million.
Yeah.
When we worked together, I remember like it was yesterday, you said, Jayme, I hate tech.
Yeah.
I hate ads. I hate software. And that's what we did for them. So I ran their ads for like 3 or 4 months. And then we had a couple of calls. I taught you how to run the ads. So combine good ads, combine high level with a great work ethic.
Yeah.
You're going to put runs on the board.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny now, like I struggled with it early on. Now I love it. And now I've got people calling me every single week going, how do you do this?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Your tech support.
yeah. I'm like, how did this come full circle? What's going on?
So how did you, so just sort of fast forwarding a little bit, then you went from manager to now an owner.
Yeah.
So let's talk through how that came about and
Well, I mean,
where you're at with it now.
obviously Aaron had set it up early on. Before I even stepped into manager, he was like, all right, we're going to give this a 3-month probation, see how you go. If you don't hit your standards, we'll chat about it. And literally hit the 3 months and he was like, shit, okay. He then sat me down and goes, what do you want? What do you want out of your life? I went, honestly, I want time. I'm doing these little acting gigs, I'm doing this, but I never have enough time or money to actually pursue it. And it's pissing me off. Because "Why don't you own a business?" What do you mean? He goes, "Well, look at me. I'm not in the business. Like I've stepped fully out. I'm letting you run it. It's running. It's making money." It's like, holy shit. He goes, "If you just do this hard for 5 years, you can have whatever you want." I never, ever questioned that and was like, from that moment went, right, let's go. And then one manager of the year, 2 years, HQ basically turned around and said, "What do we need to do to get you into your own studio?" I was like, "Find me a location, give me a loan."
And now where is that now? Where did you open?
We opened in Eastlake. So I bought the Rosebery territory, which is actually quite a funny story because I actually applied for the Rosebery vision initially. That was the first place I applied at.
So you really wanted that one then?
Yeah. And they ended up closing down during COVID. And yeah, now I've bought the territory and opened in Eastlake. So,
Come full circle.
yeah.
What was it about vision that like made you want to invest and start a business?
Sorry, can we backtrack a second here? I think personal training is wildly undervalued in the fitness industry today.
Well, that's why I feel like he's probably wanting to get into vision because we are huge advocates for the personal
We talk
training.
about this all the time, that like PTs, like group fitness has been around for 10 years. PTs 50. Higher prices,
Trialed and
less
tested.
people, retain them longer, higher LTV. I think there was a stigma around trading time for money when you can shove 50 in one room.
For sure. I mean, I still look at group training in a sort of jealous grass is greener where I'm like, oh God, you'd only need like 1 or 2 trainers and you could just, as you said, pack more people in, then there's less admin. But again, it's always that grass is greener. I think everything has its purpose and its positives. I like personal training because I feel like I can really change lives, right? We're looking at most of the demographic is probably 40 to 80. Don't like gyms, don't like training, scared to do anything. Maybe they haven't done anything before. So it's really empowering to know that you can help these people. That's more so why I want to do it. And if you're good at business, yeah, you'll make some money out of it.
There's pros and cons to every model, whether it is a certain modality, whether it's one-on-one, small group, large group, what have you. But like Jayme was saying, one-on-one training or one-on-one coaching or one-on-one help has been around for as long as humanity's been around. How you learn to do something or how you do something is getting help from someone else and them holding you accountable to do it.
I think everyone needs to invest in a coach, like full stop, whatever you're doing in your life, whether it is a personal training coach, a business coach, an acting coach, maybe you want to work on your tonality on the phone, whatever, like you should be having someone that helps you. I have a coach, right? And he's a personal training, eating coach. Because when I train for myself, like I do dumb things. I don't do the things I want to do. Yeah. Well, I don't want to do, I should say.
I think from like an industry standpoint too, there's been so much group stuff that's opened up in the last 10, 15 years. If you look through CrossFit, F45, everything in between, all the new modalities and everything. One-on-one training has always been there. But as far as I'm aware, outside of vision, there's not really
It's a huge credit to Vision, right? Like 1999, they've been up for 26 fucking years.
Not
that and F45, like
not that I'd want you to list competitors, but I can't really think of any that would rival you guys outside of, obviously there are personal trainers that run their own business, but in terms of a brand that's
I think there's lots of personal training studios, but if you even look at a lot of the brands that are out there now that do similar, like Tribe, Edge Fit, there's another one that nearest Factory Fit or something. Like these are all trainers and business people who came from Vision. Like they looked at the model, went, I like it, I just want to do it with my own name on it.
So sell the audience on why the personal training model is superior to group in your eyes. And what does the perfect Vision studio look like? Like trainers, number of sessions, what are you charging, what's the revenue, and what are you walking away with?
Give us the whole business plan.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I don't know if I need to sell it to anybody. It all comes down to what you want to do. If you enjoy group training, then do a group training facility. Everything's going to come with its positives and its negatives. The reason I like personal training is because I get to help people who really probably aren't that group fitness style, even though we do have a few group fitness classes for sure. But I feel like I'm really making a positive impact on people's lives, not just the clients, but also the trainers. Training, trainers, the average lifespan in the Australian industry is like 5 months. There is a 80% dropout rate. So 80% of people who study to become PTs leave the industry forever.
Crazy.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
Vision was created not just to guarantee results to clients, but to guarantee long-term careers for trainers.
And that's the rookie program trainers start in and work
Yeah.
their way up.
And then level up. So you've got CCs ongoing, whether it's mastering marketing, 5-star PT, advanced nutrition, all of that. They've got a studio management course, which you actually, as a owner manager, you have to repeat every 2 years. So I've got to go back and do that next week, which has the Cronulla Sandhills.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of trauma there. There is ongoing this. I mean, really, if Simo was smart, he'd just sell the CRM. The Vision system itself is one of the most comprehensive systems I have ever seen. It's about 57 integrated systems.
Yeah.
It is insane how much you can do with it. And they're currently spending like $3 million to upgrade the whole thing as well.
You said something earlier about like the target market is like 40 to 80, or maybe they're not the target market. That's just kind of where most people come from. And for us personally, now with the clients we work with, we find that older demographic, and we're almost in that older demographic now, but 40 plus, it's such a fruitful market because those people typically aren't super comfortable in like a group fitness setting. One being that maybe their body's a bit beat up and they just can't actually do the things that the younger folks can do. They don't feel comfortable because the other places are filled with 20 or 25-year-olds and they feel like a fish out of water. But they're the ones that truly need it too. Like, and they truly need like the accountability and the personalized support, in my opinion.
We made all our money on Fit Over 40. We loved it.
They need something that is individualized for them because they can't go in and do the generic programming that group fitness can provide. Yes. And then from like a business standpoint, my thought is personal training is now the different thing in a good way. Like group training is everywhere. Whereas
how many group training gyms are in Alexandra, where we are now, compared to how many one-on-one studios?
Exactly my point.
Your one might be the closest.
Yeah.
Like if you're looking for a one-on-one personal training studio, or there would be a whole lot less of them than if you're trying to do something in a group.
Look, it's a higher ticket price, which tends to turn a lot of people away. But it also means that people who do it are more invested.
Is that obviously a bit harder to get clients and you get your price sensitive people, but you got a more invested person who's more likely to get results because they're paying a lot to be there.
Well, our first job when we got back from overseas, we worked at Anytime Fitness and we were selling PT packs, and we had we were full within a couple of weeks. Like if you just have a really great conversation, like, hey, I want to speak to you once a week and then once a fortnight, maybe once a month, you can do this program. Like it just works. What is the revenue? Like not the revenue. So what does the average like Vision client pay? Is it typically 1 session, 2 sessions? Can they go open gym? How does it work?
It's personal training primarily. If you're doing the personal training, you also get studio access. You also get free group training, nutrition plan, app access. We do shopping tours, events, seminars. Like there is a full range. It is not just the session and see you later.
Yeah. So you're pricing, hey, it's not just about the hour. Yeah. It's about all of this. Yeah. So you're selling on results.
Yeah. So the minimum standard is 2 30-minute PT sessions per week.
Okay.
Generally, they want to do 10 minutes before and afterwards, activations, accessories, whatever. If you look at Rose Bay, they're at an average 2.4 sessions per client. East Lakes is at 2.3. I think Mona Vale's at 2.2. The majority of the other studios are sitting below that 2 mark, simply because they haven't been able to sell the importance of, hey, if you want to get results, you need to be doing at least 2.
Yeah, the drop off would be way worse too with one.
Way worse. One a session a week. Like what are they doing? And then of course, when you're selling only 1 session a week, you're going to sell it at a higher ticket price as well. So it might be $100 a session. Whereas I think like the average session rate for 2 sessions at the moment is like 75 to 80.
So for example, like if you have your average sessions, just say it's 2, about 160 per client per week you're getting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, from our experience and obviously we're working with other people now, the higher the price, the more there is a need for such a good sound sales process.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that, then good luck to you. Honestly. Group fitness, obviously $50 a week. Like you can have people that fumble their way through that. But if you're talking about $100, $125, $150, $200 a week, then you better be pretty confident with what you're talking
price,
through.
Like the more money you can make, but you have to be so savvy. Like the difference I've had, because I've gone to different fitness businesses to experience their like onboarding and initial stuff just to see what it's like. The difference between what we do, what a group training does, and then what a commercial gym does. It's like, hey, I'd like to join. Cool, there's a price. Okay, what am I getting?
So let's just do the math. So 8 months, say 40 weeks times 160. He's good at math. Watch this.
Oh, geez, put me on the spot. 6,400, I think.
So 6,400 is your tipping point. So your lifetime value is 6,400 compared to, again, like we talk about Pilates a lot now, but like if you talk about the money model of Pilates, it's a $50 for 5 sessions. They do a 10-pack for $299. They don't finish a 10-pack. You never see them again. Versus $6,000.
Yeah, and I mean, and you look at it from like a results standpoint too. Like if someone is with you for 8 months doing 2 sessions a week, and like you'd like to think that with some personalized help and attention, they're getting some pretty good stuff out of that.
When I was a PT, I was invited to a couple of clients' weddings. When I owned a group gym, invited to no weddings.
Yeah.
Because you have that relationship.
Well, the retention is just so much higher. So much higher. Because obviously results, very important, but more, I believe, almost more important, that is the relationship you have with the trainer or with the training staff if you are kind of moving through different trainers. And you are far less likely to discontinue that if you've got this very personal relationship with them, who are also helping you with your training and your exercise and the nutrition and everything that comes with it. And I think that's one of those things that is just going to extend out how long someone stays.
That probably becomes a hard bit in retention though. So you got to be really cautious when you've got a business that has trainers that do one-on-one. The clients may build a very solid connection with that trainer. So if that trainer leaves for whatever reason, there's a good chance that you're going to lose that person. So you need to make sure that you're doing, goal session calls, momentum calls, feedback, floor time, all of this, and also sell them into the system and the brand rather than the trainer themselves. Because if you let it just be the trainer, the second that trainer leaves,
they start their own thing.
Yeah.
So we're going to wrap, but I want one last question. East Lake to open in June. What is the plan for the next 5 years? You moved to Sydney 5 years ago. You're now here. Next 5 years, what do you see happening?
So we're really lucky with East Lakes. It's becoming extremely gentrified. There's a lot of new buildings and new money moving into the area. So we've got in an extremely good time. My goal was to open it 80 clients. We ended up opening at 40, so half of what I expected. By now, we are at 80, so the initial goal. A few months later, by February, I'd like to be over 100. By the time we reach about 120, I'm going to look to my trainers to start leveling them up into management. At least 3 of them. I've been very, very lucky through my recruitment process that the 3 trainers I currently have all want to be owners and managers. And so they literally asked me, Benny, what do we need to do to get you out of here?
If you bleed for me, I'll bleed for you.
Yeah, a little bit of that. And I said, look, it's real simple. If you want to be in this position, the business has to be making X money. And so they're pushing to get the business to grow, to get me to step out so they can step up.
Awesome. Benny, thanks for coming on, mate. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Awesome.
Benny.
Thank you.
Good to have you.